people that are coming here. I have here my dear friend Marlene Foster. She's going to be the MC of this event. We're going to be talking here about the book From Hero to Villain. I have here the two versions of the book in English and in Spanish. This is the second edition in Spanish. You see this here because this is the proofreading that they said that this is going to be published the second edition this Black Friday. So, but if you want to go to the let's say the old version is in Amazon. This is the first edition, and this is the second edition. The difference between the both you can see is that this book became a winner of the True Story Memoir, and it has you can see it here, 4 times Amazon bestseller in 4 categories. We're going to be talking about the book today. So without no further ado, I'm going to give the mic to you. Marlene.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. And it is indeed a pleasure to be here today. A pleasure to be here, and I wanted to congratulate Jose because I am truly honored because he is also will be actually within my book. I have a book coming out, 500 Moments of Discomfort, and I'll talk about that a little later. But today, I just want to just acknowledge how grateful. And as I was actually reading his book, I wanted to obviously stop here and invite you. Join me, and let's read his book, From Hero to Villain, because when you think about it, all of us at one point or another have been victims, or I want to say you feel like you victimized, have been within moments of captivity. Mentally, because he and I will talk about today, internal and external. And as you know, the internal challenge can make you feel as if you're climbing walls. You don't understand what I mean by that. And I think about as I started reading Jose's book, that's what happened to me. I started to visualize some of the experiences, things that have happened in my business, because years ago, I had a lucrative business, and my business came to an end. After years of being in business, it came to an end. And that's why when I read this book, I started to understand exactly what he meant internal, that you not only do you have to there are things that can happen to us externally. People can do things to us. People can imprison us. They can do they can speak against you, but you have to do what Viktor Frankl said. Understand what I'm saying, Jose? We have to do what? Stay strong. And that's what Jose did. And that's what he wants to reveal to you today. And I'm asking you to join me. Let's read his book. Join me on Thursday and you will hear the book review. I'm going to write a book review on the book once it's read, and I want you to also come on board and within this challenge, read his book. Write a book review. Think about how the book challenges you. Think about also how relatable his story is, within your own lives. And inside of this challenge, the reason this challenge came about is because authors and readers empower one another. Authors empower you because they're sharing experiences where they can now help you to be better within your business and in personal life. They're looking to empower you through those struggles. And you empower authors with your perspective, your perspectives, your questions, when you can reach out and get a personal, you can view exactly what's going on with them. And today, that's what Jose is going to do. He's going to talk to you. He's going to talk to us about that. And in the challenge, once you read the book and write the book review, I'd like for you to then refer 3 additional people, three other people. The Thanksgiving holiday is upon us. It's coming up, right? Thanksgiving's coming. This 10-day challenge starts today. And I want you to invite family. Talk about the book, over the holiday. Talk about it with friends. Talk about it with loved ones. But refer, tell them that you really would like for them to read the book, because the winners receive a free copy of the book, and the book will be signed by Jose, and it will have your name in it. Your name will be in the book, and I will most definitely, I'm going to set it up where you can be seen. You can be seen as he writes and signs the book for you. And he's going to say something personal to you, and he's going to have your name in it. So I want to just encourage you, get excited, because, and also there will be no losers. Everybody's going to win here today. I'm going to tell you why. Because those of you who don't win the free book, you will also be, I'll talk about you in my newsletter. And Jose has a newsletter he's been talking about. He's going to also talk about you there. We're going to talk about you and about maybe if you want to even share your journey. But there won't be any losers in this challenge.
No, and something else, I'm going to do an extra bonus. The three persons that get in the first place to the channel, I'm going to, and if you are thinking to write a book, already have write a book, or maybe have an idea to write a book, I'm going to invite you to come to my podcast to talk about, if you have the book, to promote your book. If you don't have the book, to give your idea, and if you're in the process, talk about it. I'm gonna ask the three persons to come to my show, and I'm gonna do the three person I interview, and I'm gonna put in my podcast. My podcast today in YouTube, in my YouTube channel, I have 25,000 subscribers, and my YouTube channel is heading to the 1 million views this year. So there has a lot of visibility in my YouTube. I'm going to put it in YouTube. I'm going to give that as an extra bonus to the person, the three person that win this challenge that Marlene is beginning today.
Wonderful. Absolutely. And I wanted to say to you that, and that's why I'm looking for you also within the challenge. Please refer authors. Refer authors. Like as Jose was saying, authors who are aspiring authors. If you are if you're writing your book, if you've already written a new book, or if an author who just would love to have, have your seat, have your podcast where I'm speaking to you about your book. And also those of you who would also want to reach out to Jose, as he's invited you. So we're both inviting you to empower your expertise, your experiences from your books. Time out, guys, just to write a book and let it collect dust. I'm talking about let's put it out here. Let's even empower your expertise through your writing. That's what we're looking to do. And I wanted to just start here and just ask Jose, with your book, how would you say your book has actually empowered your expertise?
Well, let's start. Let's do a step back first to the audience, because maybe the audience doesn't know about the story, or maybe have heard about the story, or I want to put that the context.
Okay.
My story is based on my 5 years of captivity that happened November 21, 2017. That means that in 3 days, it's going to be 8 years. It's going to be my eighth anniversary. And I was telling Marlene that a day as of today, November 18, 2017, 8 years ago, exactly 8 years ago, is 8 a.m. I'm today. You can read it in the book. 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm heading to the store of my wife, because my wife at that time had a store, macaron store, and I invited her to go to see the world premiere of Superman. The Justice League world premiere. If you go back November 18, 2017, that day was the world premiere. So we were heading to see it here I live in Houston, in a big movie star grill is the name, that you can have dining and having some drinks and seeing the movie. So we were in the middle of the movie, and I began to receive a phone call from my boss, and he told me that I needed to go the next day to Venezuela to do a business trip, because I had to do a presentation. So I flew the other day, November 19th, a day as tomorrow, and they told me that I needed to do a presentation, or we were revamping a refinery by that time. The people doesn't know. By that time, I was the CEO of Citgo Petroleum here in the U.S., the sixth biggest refiner here in the U.S. So for me, I was in the pinnacle of my career because I was an immigrant that came here to the U.S. and became the CEO of the sixth largest refinery of the U.S. So I was in Caracas, November 19, preparing the presentation. I did the presentation November 20. Big presentation, 1,000 people, standing ovation, and I was getting retired after that. So I was kind of closing my life after 35 years, closing my life and finishing my career. An airplane waiting me in the airport to begin my new life. Never happened because my boss called me and told me to stay one more day. And I said, why? And he said, yeah, because they're going to do a recap of all the meetings, blah, blah, blah. Was an ambush. The other day, November 21, one day as of next Friday, 8 years, I came to the second day meeting, and there is where we were ambushed. So if you see the book, these are the guards that they capture us. Very scary. They use this mask. So imagine 20 guys like this coming to take you. They asked for us. They put us handcuffed, and we became the political pawns of the situation between the U.S. and Venezuela. And we were accused to be American spies. We were accused to have committed treason to the country, and we were accused to have done corruption, embezzlement, and it appeared in national TV. I'm gonna show you.
Como jefe de Estado procedí a solicitar una investigación urgente dado las graves denuncias que me llegaron a las manos.
This is the Venezuelan dictator announcing our detention.
El presidente de Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, haciendo un anuncio que tomó por sorpresa a muchos, entre ellos a José Pereira, quien era el entonces presidente ejecutivo de la Citgo, empresa petrolera, una de las 6 más grandes de procesamiento de crudo en Estados Unidos, quien recibió una invitación para ir a una reunión normal de ejecutivos. Esa es la historia que ustedes podrán encontrar en el libro que acaba de publicar José y que les mostraremos en instantes, que relata lo que fue esa etapa.
This is the dungeon where we're captured.
Y para sus colegas, de héroe a villano, verdadera historia de los 6 de Citgo. José nos acompaña ahora. Muchas gracias, José, por estar en directo USA.
This is an interview that I did with CNN, and when we came back, I did also. Let me show you. Let me see if this. Okay, no problem. Okay, so we were captured during 5 years. That's the point. We were captured. We were thrown in this dungeon. So you can see what you see here This is the dungeon where we stayed. It's called the Helicoide. It's the most infamous dungeon of all Latin America. Thousands of political prisoners are there. Thousands. But that time were like 400. Today are around 2,000 political prisoners. So that was not a normal prison. It was not a normal prison. It was a prison for the political prisoners. Political prisoners, the people that are not familiar with these regimes, are high-ranked people, are politicians, are human rights advocates, are artists, journalists, religious leaders, are high-ranked people that are against that regime, and they throw them in the jail. There's where I stayed. So it's not a normal prison. They don't treat you like a normal prison because the intention is that you're going to be there and they want to break you. Everything is done to break you. You're not there to stay in a prison. This is a center of torture, psychological and physical torture, because they want to break you because you are your enemy. So that's why my book became this name, From Hero to Villain, because I was in the middle of a presentation, standing ovation as the hero, and 5 minutes after, I was in a dungeon for the rest of my life because I was supposed to be there for the rest of my life. You have to picture this. We were accused to be a spy in a communist regime. So we will stay there forever. I would not be, I'm here as a mirror. So answering your question, Marlene, how this transformed me, this is a before and after in my life. Because in my previous life, in my before, I was a successful oil and gas executive, 35 years career, very successful, always climbing the corporate ladder. I was in the pinnacle of my career as the CEO of the 6th biggest company, oil and gas company here in the U.S., with all the toys that come with that position. You know, I had a car with a private driver. I have a private jet. I had my house. I had eating from a restaurant on a daily basis. They brought the food from a restaurant to my office. So I had everything. And in a minute, I lost everything. So how you can survive something like this? And this is something that it comes with the answer that is the human nature. The human being had something, because remember, we're creatures of God. We're done as the image of God. So we have it inside us. We have that inner force. Everybody has that inner force. Everybody has the fortitude. The thing is that you don't know it. You don't know that you have it. You don't know it. And when you're in that situation, that is an extreme situation, I think that is the most extreme situation beside dying. It's literally like dying, because you have only two choices: or you survive or you die. There's nothing in between. Or you survive or you die. So it becomes like a personal decision. How you do this? Well, this comes with in my book, I mention how this transformation came in my life. Because I'm going to say here thing. It was not day one. Day one, I was totally broken. We were 6 guys. I was not alone because I flew to Venezuela to do the presentation with my 5 vice presidents. So we were 6 guys. That's why they put us the name of the Citgo 6. So the Citgo 6 come because that was the name that the press put on us, because we were 6 guys that worked for Citgo Petroleum. So the press was more easy to them call us the Citgo 6. So here everybody knows us as the Citgo 6. And that's what that was one of the reasons why I decided to write the book, because everybody was talking about 606, 606, 606, 606. There was no faces. So nobody knew who was a 606. There was no faces. There was like a entity, a 606. But there were six real stories, six families that were impacted by this. Six families totally impacted. And my family was one of them. So I decided to say, okay, I want to put my face. I want the people to know who I am. So that people can say, okay, this guy, Jose Pereira, was one of the 606. Okay, that is the different story. So now I'm going to show you. So that interview that you saw, I did it like 1 year ago. And one week ago,
place an international
I did this one.
drone strikes carried out near Venezuela in recent months. Well, those attacks on Venezuelan boats are part of increased.
This is what's happening today with Venezuela.
Fox 26's Tom Biscuit said one man who was a hostage of Venezuela, one of the infamous Citgo Six, is cheering the U.S.'s attention on the country.
Washington's Houston-based Citgo executives, including former company president Jose Pereira, were called to Caracas in November 2017 to make a presentation. At the time, the U.S. was also talking to Venezuelan activists, and the Citgo Six, those executives, were captured and held for almost 5 years.
And I was going back to the airport. In that moment, where the guards came and they captured us there. We were accused to be American spy. We were accused to have committed treason to the country, embezzlement, corruption, a lot of things. And for me, it was like, what's going on here? So for me, it was a total surprise.
Did you do any of those things that they accused you?
No, of course not.
Were you a spy for the United States?
No. We were businessmen. We said, okay, now this is really serious, because we became like the political party between the relation between the U.S. and Venezuela. We get caught in the
So now I have face. So now the people know who I am. Nobody knew who I was, and now the people know who I am. So why I do this today is because I found that the thing that I went through, I can share with others today. I can give the empowerment to the people to say, hey, my friend, if you go into anything in your life, no matter where you're going, you will survive. Because I did it. You will do it too. You can do it, because all of us are creatures of God. All of us are done by the image of God. There is no difference between me and anybody that's hearing this. No difference. But it's in you. It's in here. It's here where everything works. It's matter of mindset. Of course, I'm going to say here, Marlene, that we had the blessing, because it became a blessing, that we were not alone. After 1 year, we were put the six together, and that was a turning point, because now we are six guys choosing randomly, because we were not friends. We were six guys that some of them were my colleagues. I didn't have friendship with them. So now I know in their stories, and picture this, six guys choosing randomly, 30 plus year career, 30 plus year marriage. All of us has more than 30 years of marriage. What is the probability that six guys chosen randomly had that same pattern? The only answer is God. The hands of God. There's no other answer. The hands of God. Because for some reason, God put us in that. I say that it was a 5-year retreat. A 5-year retreat, because he was forging us. He was transforming us. That became my valley that I needed to go through to transform my life. Because during those years, we here, the six of us, we created a survivor plan. And by the way, that survivor plan became my coaching program. I created a coaching program based on that. And I decided to begin to speak And I today have that TV show, and I do a podcast, and I wrote the book, and I'm starting a nonprofit. So I did a lot of things after that because I decided to transform that ordeal in my purpose. So,
Wow.
long story short, that is that.
Wow, Jose said, your journey. I'm listening to you, and as I listen to a lot of your, you're right, because there are a lot of interviews, a lot of interviews on Jose, and as I have viewed them, what I want to tell you that I've actually received from your interviews and from getting to know you, and then from your book, Jose, is that you're right. Your journey definitely was done for a purpose. Your journey is now impacting all of us. Those of us who have felt in captivity, those of us who didn't know our way out of it, you can. Here's a survivor today that's letting all of us know that you have an option. There is an option there for you. And no matter what people may do to you externally, remember though, as Viktor Frankl said, they cannot take away what you hold dear internally.
Yeah.
Right, Jose?
Yeah. Well, that is exactly right, because when we were in that captivity, they did a lot of bad things physically. Because one of the things that I was telling Marlene before we started this, that I had the opportunity to read the book of Viktor Frankl during my captivity. So I could feel it there in the moment that we were going. And when I read that, one of the most challenging things of the people that survived was why they survived. And they were basically two things. When the people had a purpose to come back, the first thing, that people had a purpose. In my case, in the case of the six of us, we had 30 plus years married with kids and grandsons. So we truly believed that we needed to come back. So we begin to work hard to come back. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that one of the worst things that they did during those times was that they humanized the people. Same thing that they did to us. I was telling Marlene that during our captivity, we were not allowed to do eye contact. We could not see the guards to the eyes. We were not allowed to do eye contact during years. I stayed years looking down. I could not talk to them looking to the eyes, because that is a way that they humanize you, or they were mocking you. They were doing things to break you. But you know what? They cannot break you, your spirit. They can break your body, but not your spirit. They broke my body because I suffered pneumonia. I suffered bronchitis. I had 2 times scabies. I had 2 times COVID. I suffered a heart attack. I fainted. I stayed 3 days in coma. I stayed 3 days in coma. Yes, I went through a coma during 3 days. So I'm here as a miracle. I'm here as a miracle. So all the things they did to me disappeared. I a couple of weeks ago did my physical test, and my doctor said that I'm like a baby. Everything is okay. So it's because everything is here. Everything is here. So I'm telling to the people that's hearing this, anything that you're going in your life, even if you think that you're going to the worst situation in life, it's not worse. There always will be somebody else with a worse situation than you. But sometimes you believe that what you're going in your life is and sometimes, let me tell you, you can think, why I'm going through this? Why this is happening to me? Because this is very normal. It's very human. It happened to me. I the first year I was with anger, blaming God why He did this to me. Because why? I was a successful guy, I had everything. One day I lost everything. Why did I had to go through that process? I thought that I didn't do nothing wrong. But when you begin to revisit your life, you begin to see things that you were doing wrong. One of the things I was doing wrong is that I abandoned my family, I abandoned God. And I was full of ego. I was full of ego. I was selfish. I was self-centric. I was thinking that everything was about me. And today, everything I do, I say thanks God, because it's for the glory of God that I can do that thing today.
Wow.
So that is what everybody has to think. If you're seeing this and you think that you're successful because of you, hey, my friend, revisit your life. Revisit your life, because if you're being successful, good for you. But this is because it's for the grace of God. This is because of the grace of God. And if you're going bad, remember that God will never abandon you there, because you're in His mercy. So it's, for me, transformational. I can talk this, and that's why I decided to write a book, to tell my story that can encourage people. They can see in the book that if I could make it, you can make it. That's why I decided to begin to speak. You said that I had done an interview. I had done tons of interviews. I had done more than 200 podcasts all over the world. Literally all over the world. I have been interviewing Australia, New Zealand, Japan, China, whatever, Australia, whatever you can imagine. I have been interviewed. But I don't do it because I want to get interviewed. I do it because I found that I need to spread this message. Mm-hmm. This became kind of my ministry. Mm-hmm. Spreading the message that I can help others. And let me tell you something to the people that are hearing this. I had a consciousness that I did decide this because I found that there was a calling, and I'm fulfilling that calling and being obedient on that. Even that is surprising me, Marlene, because let me tell you, this book that you're seeing here, as I said, I wrote it in English and then translated to Spanish. Now it's in English and in Spanish. But a couple of months ago, I got the surprise that I have a friend that is a pastor in Bangladesh. I want to show you the photos. So his name is Rashal Ran. Pastor Rashal, he one day talking with him, he told me, Jose, my wife could read your book, and she was in tears saying, oh, it will be beautiful if the people in Bangladesh could read the book. So one day he came to me and said, Jose, my wife told me, why don't we translate the book in Bengali? And he came back 1 month after, and he translated the book in Bengali. So let me try to show you the how the book got it. Give me a few seconds. Okay, let me continue talking. I'm looking for the photo. So he translated the book to Bengali, and here's this is the Bengali edition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
The Bengali edition.
Uh-huh.
He translated in Bengali, and I put it in Amazon in Bengali, and Amazon came back to me and said that Bengali was not a supported language, so they took it out from Amazon, and I began to fight with Amazon. And I came back to the pastor and said, "Hey, they took out from Amazon, so we cannot publish it." I said, "No, we're going to publish it no matter what," and they publish it in Bangladesh. Today, 100,000 people had read the book in Bangladesh. 100,000 people. And 1,500 people have converted from being Muslim to Christians because of the book. He has been evangelizing using my book. And I have been invited to go to Bangladesh in January. The Bangladesh government is going to publish 20,000 of copies. So that is the power of God.
Wow, Jose.
That is
Wow.
the power of God. So my book is being used in a country that I have never visited. God connected me with a pastor in that country, and now he's impacting life in Bangladesh. And so why this happened? Because I truly believe in the power of God. I truly believe that for some reason God began to use me, and I'm being obedient and following His calling. Anything that I'm doing today is not because of me. Everything I'm doing today, Marlene, is because of Him. Everything, everything. I became a servant of God, and for me, this is a mission of life. This is not because of a cross. This is not. This is because it's a way I believe God is using me to impact others and come into His kingdom. This is the way I'm looking this way.
Wow. As I'm just listening to you, and your question has been answered. You asked God, didn't you? Maybe 8 years ago, why me? And a lot of us, we do that. I've done that. Yeah. And you're right. And I'm seeing today, you're right, that I'm actually being an influence in others' lives. And it's because of what happened to me. And now I'm actually being able to really help and guide others. And that's what you're doing.
He evangelizing with my book in Bangladesh. Wow. This is a school book. And there are much more photos. Tons of people, thousands of people reading the book in Bangladesh.
Wow. And you see there, and look at you, like you said, the content, what's happening right now, with your book, we see, with your representation, Jose, did you ever think, did you ever in your lifetime ever feel you would be where you are today?
No.
Did you?
I didn't, never imagine this, never. And I thought, Marlene, that I was a successful guy because I in my previous life, I did a beautiful career, more than 30 years in the oil and gas, very challenging, always one job better than the other, always climbing the corporate ladder. I travel all the world. I travel all the world. I was always with all the toys that come with the position, but that was nothing. That was nothing. I don't think they absolutely a minute on that. Yeah, that is one of the things that really the time that you lose, you will never recover. We decided to move on and continue, and I didn't go back. I didn't look to the mirror. I decided to move on. And that is what I tell to anybody. If you have gone to any challenge, you have to. There are two things that are very important, because here comes into play something that is key. That is the faith. Mm. Remember that the faith is that truly believe that you haven't seen, but inside you know that you're going to be there. You know it because you have faith. And when you have faith, you don't see you where you are today. You see you where you want to be. That's what the faith is. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I'm going to go more deep. Today, the science has confirmed what the Bible has said more than 2,000 years ago. Because the science, through the neuroscience and the quantum physics, had discovered that the observer can change what is observed. Is physics, is scientifically proved that you can change your reality. So when you have faith and you pray and you pray intentionally, and you pray not in, oh God, please take me about of this situation. No, you pray. Thanks God because you gave me this. Thanks God because I'm having this blessing in my life. Thank God because I'm being abundant, even in your broken. But you're praying and expressing gratitude. You are transforming your reality. There is something supernatural behind that. That is true. It works. I can tell you, it works. It worked for me. So if it worked for me, it can work for you. So
Yes.
is so important that you believe in yourself and you believe in God, because that's what is going to make that you have faith, and the faith is the base of the miracles. Because when you have faith, can begin to appear things that are supernatural. There's where the healing comes. There's where the people survive a cancer. There's where if you're broken, suddenly you begin to be successful. There's where many things in your life are going to change. But you have to believe. You have to have faith. The faith is the base of everything.
It's so true. It was like, I talked about when you felt, and you said that you felt this because I felt this myself. You knew it was time for you to leave. It was time for you to exit out of captivity. What did you feel? What did you feel? Or what were you thinking at that particular moment?
Well, let me give you. I always, by the way, I did a speech based on this event. Okay, it's called the carry on metaphor. The carry on metaphor comes because after 4 years being in captivity, that we didn't see no way to go out. We were thinking in the long run. We were thinking to stay forever. One day, they asked us to dress up that we're having a visit. And we discovered that there was a very tall guy that came to visit us. I'm going to show you his photo here. His name is the Ambassador Roger Carson. Let me show you, Ambassador. Where I have an ambassador. Oh, I don't have it. Well, the Ambassador Roger Carson. Here he is. This is the Ambassador Roger Carson. This is me and my wife with him. Okay, this guy he was appointed by Trump to the special presidential office for Jose Pereira, and he was ratified by Biden. So he served 2 terms with the Republicans and with the Democrats. So he visited us in October 2021, 1 year before we got released, and that we had a visit with him. He did a visit in the prison with us. I have a photo that we took during those years. So when he visited us, we had the opportunity to talk with him, and he told us that he was, fighting really hard to bring us back. And when I finished the visit with him, it was like a 2-hour visit, and I told him, Ambassador, we're gone. I don't know when, but we're gone. And the day after, they gave me a phone call. I could have the phone call, and I had the opportunity to talk with my wife. My wife was here in the U.S. I was captured in Venezuela. So I called her, and there was a guy that was taking care of my logistics in Venezuela, was bringing me food, clothes, a thing that I needed. So I told my wife, tell this guy to bring me a carry-on. And she asked me why the carry-on. And I said, because I'm going to be gone. And when I want to come with the carry-on. So when she, and I told her that not only bring me the carry-on, I asked that put some clothes inside the carry-on. So now I had a carry-on with a closet for almost 1 week. Every morning, I talked to the carry-on. And I told the carry-on, be ready, my friend, that we're gone. Every morning when I wake up, I saw the carry-on and said, be ready, we're gone. It took me one year. It took me 1 year. But one day they opened the door and I came with the carry-on. The carry-on was with me. So what is the metaphor behind this? Sometimes you have in your shoulders a heavy baggage. That heavy baggage is your burdens. You have to give it to God. But that carry-on, and I came with the carry-on. The carry-on was with me. So what is the metaphor behind this? Sometimes you have in your shoulders a heavy baggage. That heavy baggage is your burdens. You have to give it to God. But that carry on are your dreams. You have to carry your dream. That's what you have to carry with you, your dreams. In that carry on for me became my anchor. It became my dream of freedom. So in your life, go always with that carry on. That are your dreams. Pursue them. And give that heavy baggage to God. So that is the metaphor behind that. And I could come back. That repetition on a daily basis, talking to the carry-on, began to be my anchor. And it boosted my faith. It boosted so much that at some point I was talking with my wife and I felt her depressed. I began to coach her. I began to coach my wife, telling, hey, why you're depressed? Oh, because I don't know when this is going to finish. I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't know when, but I'm gone. I was convinced I was gone. It's because of that. You have to believe in yourself and believe in God. And leave it to Him. Leave it to Him. All those burdens, leave it to God. Leave it to Him. And pursue your dreams. That's it.
Absolutely. And Jose, remember, also tell us what you did in captivity that led to your book today, writing your book. You talked to me about this. What led to it? Was it a journal that you did, or what was it that led to your book? And you started to actually writing the book.
Yeah, you know how the idea of the book came out. There are several stages. The first thing is that after 1 year of captivity, that we were in solitary confinement, we were put the six together, and because the situation in Venezuela was really bad, I was starving, I was having hunger, I lost 100 pounds, my health was totally deteriorated. As I said, I suffered all this illness, so I was literally dying. So these guys, they didn't take care of that, of course, because they were trying to force the U.S. to take a decision to relieve some sanction and thing that they had, and they were using us as a pawn of the situation. So, but there flew a commission of the UN, because by that time the ambassador of Venezuela was recalled and the ambassador of the U.S. recalled. No ambassadors, so there was no way to connect. So the UN flew to Venezuela and they visited us, and they went to talk with Maduro and said, these guys are going to die. You had to feed them and give them medicine. So this guy allowed our family to begin to provide food. So my wife took that decision to my eldest son. He moved to Colombia. Colombia is in the border of Venezuela. My eldest son moved with his family to Colombia. And from Colombia, he began to send food to Venezuela. And the guy that took care of my logistics, his wife, began to cook me. So they began to deliver me food every 3 days. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday. 3 days in the week. I received food for all those days. When I was returning the trash cans for the new food, I had to return the trash can to the guy because they recycled the cans. There was no cans in Venezuela. So they were recycling the cans. Inside the cans, I did like a double bottom. I put the cans like this. And inside the cans, I begin to smuggle letters. I asked this guy to bring me a pen. And I begin to, because I was reading books by that time, I begin to take the white pages of the books. I rip it down and I begin to write letters with that. I rip tons of books. At some point, he began to send me, brought me paper so I could begin to write letters. So that's the way I began to communicate with my wife, writing her letters, and she began to write me letters too. So the way it worked is that the guy that did the logistics, he took a photo of the letter, he put it in the WhatsApp and sent it to my wife. My wife printed the letters, then she wrote the letters, she replied, did a photo, sent to him, he printed and put it in the can. So we were doing that in a daily, every 3 days we were doing that. That became my anchor too, because it was not only the food. The food represented the love of my family, but the letter was that real, the most impactful thing. When I was receiving the food, the first thing I was looking was where is the letter inside, looking for the letter, and those letters begin to be like a routine with my wife, exchanging with her what we were writing, everything, what I was feeling, what was going on. She was talking to me about what was going on here with the kid. She was giving me an update of the negotiation to a release. At some point, I was very well informed. But what happened that when I came back, I found that my wife had compiled all those letters. It became more than 1,000 letters. And that letters became this book. So I took part of, not all of them, I took part of those letters and became this book. And I'm going to say here, I did a private book that is not published. I did this book that is only for my family. This is a private book. This is a memoir. I didn't publish. This is a book only that I gave to my kids and to my grandsons. It's based on the very personal letters to them. My grandsons, all of them have a copy of this book. This is my life testament for them, based on those very private letters that I didn't publish in my book. So this is my public book, and this is my private book. This only my family has this book. Only my family. So because I had so much written, but the other turning point is that there is a very famous Venezuelan journalist. His name is Roland Carreño. He's my friend. Roland, I hope that you be released very soon. He's still in captivity. He is one of the most famous journalists of Venezuela, and we became friends. And he inspired me to write the book, because when I was there, one day I told him, Roland, I'm thinking that when I go out, I'm going to write my story. I already think that I have enough things written to compiling a book. And the name of From Hero to Villain came from him. So he was who gave me the title, the book. And we were talking, and he was inspiring me, telling me, put this here, put this there, because he's a journalist. He knows how to write. And when I came back, I already have everything here. I had everything here. So that's the way the book came out.
You had it etched. You already had it etched, in your mind. Look how powerful the mind is. But I want you to start, right here and let us know, how many days were you in captivity?
1,775 days. And I'm going to give a public recognition to one of my colleagues, Jorge, because he already published his book. Let me show it. Jorge published his book like 1 month ago. This is his story. It's called 1,775 days. This is the title he put. This is my colleague, Jorge. He decided to put that because we stayed 1,775 days. When I was writing the book, I was thinking in this name, but I came with From Hero to Villain because my good friend, that was the title he gave to me. And let me tell you, if you see my letters that I was reading in Venezuela, at some point I already was convinced that I was writing the book. And the secret code that we put to my book with my wife was H2 V. H was hero. 2 V villain. So every time I was telling H2V, that became the project. H2V. That was that secret code that we put to the book. H2V. So I was convinced that I was going to write it. So it came to me, my friend, everything is here. Everything is here.
Wow. And I just want to stop right here. Jose, just say to everyone, now do you see why we all need to read Jose's book? Like I said, I've already started and I'm inviting you, come join me and let's do it together. And you know what? And let's look at how relatable he is in all of our lives, and and how impactful his story is, and how we can now refer and tell someone else about him, and get three individuals that you can refer over the holiday. You sitting around, you eating turkey and pasta, and you eating all type of desserts. Sit around and talk about the book. Invite them. And you could even, if you decide that you want to give, maybe a copy to someone. But one good thing about it is this: I have a book. I have the book from Jose, and he wrote to me, Marlene Foster, this book, I hope you enjoy it. This is my legacy to the world. After enduring 1,775 days of captivity, God didn't break me. He transformed me and made the man I am today. He said, God bless you. I mean, empowering. And just think, the winners will receive a signed book with your name in it, and we'll have it done live so everyone can see exactly what he's written and what's being said to you. So join me, and authors, looking forward to hearing from you so that you can also empower your readership. I'm looking forward to meeting more authors, aspiring authors, new authors. Come and join me, and also get to know Jose. He's already put an invitation out there to all authors, to any writers. Join him, reach out, and join me in the challenge yourself every day in everything that you do, whatever it is, personal or business. Challenge yourself.
Coming to the end, Marlene, because we already had the hour coming to the end. This is going to be recorded, and we're going to air it maybe this afternoon or tomorrow morning. So the people that are going to be hearing this in the recording, in YouTube, in Facebook, in Instagram, in X, in LinkedIn, just DM me. Just DM me or DM Marlene to become part of the challenge. As we said, Marlene is gonna do the challenge. The three finalists. She's gonna give a signed copy of the book. So you were gonna send me your address. I'm gonna sign it and send it to you for free. And beside that, as I mentioned, if you're an author, an aspiring author, or even have a thought to become an author, I'm going to invite you to come to my podcast that is called Building Resilience. Building Resilience, I air it every Monday morning in all these platforms. And in my YouTube channel, that program has thousands of views every week. Thousands. The last show they did has around 10,000 views. So it has modestly has a lot of visibility. So you will have the opportunity to showcase your book, to talk about your book. So this is the offer that we're giving as a gift for you.
On LinkedIn, and we'll let you know the time. I think it's actually 1:00. It'll be 1:00 on Thursday. Come and get an update of Jose's challenge. Come get an update and also hear the book review that I have just for him. So